The Ask Women subreddit title reads, when did you know your relationship was over and that you needed to move on? So, from a guy's point of view, hopefully this will be very valuable because we can spot the signs here of what turns off women and what makes them want to leave the relationship. So, we make sure we don't make the same mistakes and you end up losing the woman of your dreams. So, the first lady says, when it goes from yay, I can't wait to see him, to it feels like a chore to see him. The last thing you want is for your woman to view you as a chore when it comes to seeing you. She should want to see you all the time. She should be excited about seeing you. So when it goes from excitement to it being a chore, you know you're doing something very wrong. Actually, looking at my relationship between my mum and dad's, they love each other deeply, but he never takes her out on dates unless it's her birthday or Valentine's Day. I really do believe that you should be taking your girl on at least a date a week, no matter how long you two have been together, to just really keep that excitement and spark alive. Just because you've won her doesn't mean you should stop dating her. Um, so that's important. Make it exciting when you two see each other. Don't just invite her over to watch Netflix and order pizza. Take her out, show her off, show her a good time, and that'll go really far. Also, when she comes over, are you causing unnecessary drama? Are you keeping things light and fun? Or are you bringing her mood down by talking rubbish and arguing with her, disagreeing with her? You want to keep the excitement because relationships are supposed to be fun. They're not supposed to be super serious and mundane. And I feel like guys miss that after they've been with the girl for a couple of months. So yeah, try and keep it like when you first met. Try and keep it very fun and not too overly serious and miserable. Next one says, one of my exes was into both world wars. One day I came over to his house and him and his stepsister were in Yahtzee costumes. That's pretty messed up. I don't think there's any good reason to wear a Yahtzee uniform. So yeah, probably a good idea to leave that relationship. That's a bit of an odd one though. I don't think many people are going to be in that scenario. Next one says, I was in a toxic relationship. We used to fight every day. One time it all went well. We had a great day. Didn't fight. Had sex with him without him pressuring. I was happy that night. But I realised that an average day for most relationship is like this, and this shouldn't be a special one. I left him the morning after. Look, toxic relationships shouldn't happen, especially if you're in your 20s or above. Like you have enough life experience to know how to deal with relationships and what a healthy relationship should be. Relationships shouldn't be a constant fight. They shouldn't be toxic. Um, and you certainly shouldn't be pressuring your woman into sex. If she's crazy about you, you're doing everything right, she'll want sex more than you will want sex. You have to be like pushing her away because she is so attracted to you. So this just sounds like a catastrophic relationship that both people need to press the red button on. But yeah, I think relationships should be quite seamless. Yes, you're going to have your ups and downs. Yes, there's going to be speed bumps. But if every day is a constant battle and there is this toxicity, then I think both of you, especially the guy in this point of view, is not ready for a relationship and he should do a lot of self work. Just gonna have a sip of coffee and we will continue the next one. So this next comment has 4 bullet points. Getting annoyed at stuff that normally wouldn't make you upset annoyed because they do it, it annoys you. Yeah, if you're getting constantly annoyed and nitpicky at your man, it obviously shows that you started to lose respect and love for him. So that's not a good sign, and there's nothing worse than being a guy and your woman is always nitpicking you, always getting angry at you over the things you do, especially if it's something so minute and minor. If she's crazy in love with you, she'll let the things that annoy her slide. But if she's constantly bringing it up and arguing about it, then it looks like you've started to lose your girl already. Next point she mentions is wanting more and more space and not wanting to spend as much time with each other. Again, I said this in the previous one. If she's crazy about you, she'll be latched onto you like a leech. She'll want your attention all the time. She'll want to see you all of the time. I'm someone who likes my own space. I am a bit of an introvert, so I like, going 2-3 days without seeing my girl. Doesn't mean I don't love her. It just means I enjoy my own space. I like to play some video games. I like to go to the gym by myself, go on long walks. But from a woman's point of view, even if she is a bit of an introvert and she likes her own space, if she's crazy about you, she'll want to see you literally every day. So this guy's obviously doing something really wrong here. Third point she mentions, sometimes all it takes is a sentence that I replay in my head over and over, wondering what it meant. This just sounds like bad communication between these two. If he says something that you're confused about, speak to him about it instead of stewing over it in your head. It's going to make things much worse. So this just sounds like bad communication between the two parties. There are times that I told myself, what are you doing? Or is this someone you really want to spend the rest of your life with? Have kids, etc. Look, I've only been with my girlfriend for just over a year, but I'm excited about the future together. I'm very realistic. I understand we might not go the distance, but I'm excited about our future together and seeing where it goes. If you're someone who's looking at a relationship, you're not excited about where it goes, and you have a very negative mindset of it, pull the ripcord early and find someone you are going to have a successful future with. So I don't know if this woman's still with this guy, but she's given 4 points here that makes me think they're probably best going their separate ways. Next one, I was at my best friend's wedding. This was one of my first times he was surrounded by my only friends and people I knew, and he did not give me an ounce of effort in getting to know anyone. So I actually met my girlfriend's university friends for the first time, and I put on my best clothes and I made an effort with them. I didn't go on my phone. I spoke to them, I asked them questions, I was intuitive and listened to them and made some jokes and really put my best foot forward. And afterwards my girlfriend told me that they thought I reminded them of Tom Holland, which I think is a positive. I think he's a good looking chap and he's quite likeable. But I had a really good impression on them, and my girlfriend really enjoyed that. I think women care a lot about validation from their friends and family. So if her friends and family like you, then your girlfriend's going to like you even more, because they do care about what other people think. Whether a woman's a walking red flag or a walking green flag, both of them will care about their friends and family's opinions of you. So put the effort in. If you're meeting her friends, you're not going to see her friends all the time. It might be like once a month. So during that one period you do see them, put in the effort and put your best foot forward. The next one, let me just have a sip of coffee before I speak about this next one, because it's a long one. This person says, yesterday, so they're still obviously with this person, yesterday when we were talking about the world and how we fit in the world, he doesn't care about others, he has no curiosity about the world or other cultures or countries, and he thinks travelling is a waste of time. Now, in the early dating phase, you'd be able to know if your values align, such as travel and exploring different cultures. So I don't understand why you'd get into a relationship with someone if you haven't had these conversations yet and you haven't seen if you align on many hobbies and interests. So that's a bit of a concern. Like, why are you with someone who doesn't hold those same values and interests? The last thing you want is for someone to hold you back. So if you are someone who wants to travel the world but your partner doesn't want to do that, then that is going to make you resent that person, because you want to do these things but this other person doesn't want to. So I'd leave this relationship just on that basis alone, because the last thing you want to do is resent your person that you're with because they were holding you back from doing something that you want to do. If you really like travelling, find someone who likes to travel as well. It seems like these two just aren't aligned in something that is so important to them. So that's an easy leave for me. Next one is, for me, it was when I asked myself the question, could I be happy like this for the rest of my life if nothing ever changed? Kind of similar to that other one, talking about the future. If she saw a future with him, if you have a negative mindset of the future together, then yeah, you should probably leave that relationship sooner rather than later. I suppose when there's a feeling of resignation and apathy towards a relationship, you know it will work if you try, but you don't want to do it anymore or put the work in anymore. Um, Relationships shouldn't be so difficult. Like, you shouldn't need to put too much effort into it. Yes, effort is needed, but it should be quite plain sailing. If you two are perfect for each other, it should be a breeze. You know, months should fly by. You should not have many, if any, arguments. So obviously these two just aren't right for each other. Do a couple more. I hated the idea of going home. I was staying late at work, going in early, I was volunteering, making plans, taking extra long shopping trips, etc. I dreaded seeing him. Wow. If your girlfriend dreads seeing you, you must be quite a piece of work. I don't know why this woman's still with this guy. I'm guessing maybe they're married or they have kids. But yeah, you shouldn't dread seeing the person you're with. You know, it's not, you're not tied to that person as much as you were before. Unfortunately, yes, divorce is very easy from a woman's point of view now. So I don't know why this woman's still with this guy unless she's like scared of the repercussions. But what this guy has done to her is obviously pretty significant if she dreads seeing him. So I don't know what he's doing. But yeah, that just sounds like a really toxic situation to be in. It's been almost 5 years and he's never planned a date. Oh my god. Like I said earlier, I think you should be going on at least one date a week with your significant other. You should be dating her like when you were trying to win her at the start. Take her on dates, keep things exciting, and take control of the relationship. This just sounds like this guy got very lazy. He's lost interest in her and in the relationship. He's probably not happy in his own life. I can imagine him just coming back from work, sitting on the couch, watching the football and drinking a pack of beer. So, yeah, that's not a very attractive trait. You gotta show off your woman. If you love her, you gotta show her off. You know, you want to make her happy, just like you want her to make you happy. And if you're not putting the effort in regards to dates, then this relationship will be going nowhere. With my ex, I knew the instant he did not look at me with that loving spark in his eye as before. Look, it's important not to put too much emphasis on the spark and how you used to feel. The spark will die down, like the bonfire won't be as hot and fiery as before. Um, for example, I could love a girl and find her very attractive, but after I've been with her for multiple months or a year, yeah, I'm not going to have that same sexual urge as I did before, and that's completely normal. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. That doesn't mean that person's not right for me. But you get used to that same person. It doesn't become as exciting, and that's completely normal. That's not a reason to leave a relationship. I think that's what some men and women get wrong. They think, oh, because the spark's not as good as it first was, then it's a red flag. That's not the way to look at it. So you've got to be careful there. That's a tightrope you've got to be careful about not falling off about. A couple more here. When listening to them talk makes you tired. Oh my god, that person must be very boring. We were on vacation and I made the whole itinerary, dedicate an entire day to this particular place that is incredibly... I'm sorry, I'm not going to read this comment, it's too long. Let's move on to the next one. I asked myself, if my sister came to me and told me her relationship looked like mine, what would I hope she would do? immediately I knew I'd want her to end it, and then ask myself why I wouldn't want good things for myself the way I do for my sister. Sometimes you do need an unbiased opinion to look at your relationship, as long as that opinion comes from a good place and they want what's best for you. Sometimes you can be wrapped up in the emotions of the relationship, even though there's a ton of red flags that you can't quite see, that other people can. But it's very important to have advice from people who do care about you and do want the best for you. So yeah, if you get advice from a family member who pull you to the side and say your relationship isn't as good as it should be and there's some worrying signs they see, take it on board. Don't take it all completely trustworthy. Like, you've got to have your own opinion on the relationship, but it's definitely important to get some outside opinions. Let's do one more here. When I wasn't excited to see him anymore, it felt like a chore. Okay, this seems like a running theme from these women. It seems like guys are just not making the relationship as exciting as they used to. Maybe they're constantly complaining, they're not putting the effort in, they're not taking her out on dates. So that's probably the thing I took from these comments the most. Guys, make sure you continue to date and court your woman. Don't become lazy. Make sure you still continue to work out. Make sure you still continue to put the effort in that you did when you first started dating that woman, and it will go a long way. So really, that's what I took from it. Just put the effort in. However, if the woman's not putting the effort in with you, then that's when you should probably cut the relationship off. But yeah, just start taking her out on dates and see how much that would change your relationship for the positive. I can assure you it will have a really good impact. Anyway, that's all, guys. Cheers. See ya.